Good morning. Good day. How are you? Welcome back. Oh my gosh. Stop that. Okay. Hey, yo. How's it going? Welcome back. Cheers. How are you? And how are we feeling? It's Saturday. We have a lot of good things to look at. We did a video yesterday. What if crypto fails? What if crypto fails entirely? We put that video up. It's full of some fun ideas. The Hydra analogies in there. The ideas that it's unstoppable, you can't outlaw it, you can't turn back. All these exciting things are in there. So, yeah, it's exactly how it sounds. What if crypto fails? It's worth it. So, how are you guys this morning? How are we feeling? We got our rooster up. We're letting you guys stream in, stroll in, show up, whatever you're doing. And, we're going to get started here in just a moment, and then we'll be off. We be off. Crypto can't fail. Kung Fu, what it do? No failing. What's up, what's up? What's up, XRP Warriors? Comedian Chuck Real. What's happening, guys? Will change and morph. Exactly, yeah. Evolution. Evolution of crypto. Love the rooster. All right, we'll just kick back and let the rooster do all the work then. Rooster working hard. Oh no, that's not the long one. Restart it. Restart. Where's the endless one? So how are you guys today? What's up? What's up? That's not the endless one. We needed the 10-hour one. 10-hour loop. What's up? What's up? You were whistling that all day yesterday? Me too. Me too. You guys like the other one too, the Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest? We could put that up today. Robin Hood, Little John running through the forest. What up, what up, what up? Robin Hood, that's right. That's right, Robin Hood. Stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. There's the rooster. There he is. You guys know this jam?
Oh, incidentally, I'm Alan Adale, the minstrel. Oh, that's an early-day folk singer.
Would the banks rather save 70%? Exactly. Exactly. Good morning, everyone. We're just dicking around while everyone shows up.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other had to say.
That's right. Robin Hood. Classic. Classic Robin Hood. Crypto is like the modern Robin Hood. Hello, hello. What's up, what's up? Good morning. What's up, what's up? How's it going, Malaka? Yeah, we made that video yesterday, what if crypto fails, mainly because I saw a lot of people on Reddit losing faith, losing hope, feeling uneasy. I think someone even commented yesterday like they've been losing thousands of dollars and they're still working their day job. Yes, yes, indeed, that is the case. And that's the reality of now. That's the reality of right now. So what does that mean looking forward? We got the first thing on the article, on the docket, Ripple versus Swift, XRP versus Swift. Ripple is Robinhood. That's right, XRP Warrior. That's right. You're putting it together. That's why that's on there. That's important. That's the importance. That's the importance. Karate chopping 10,000 XRP hodl. I like it. So Ripple and XRPs versus Swift. Which of the two would be the adoption solution? I think we know. We know what's happening. If you guys don't know very much about Swift's history, what's up, Mr. Miyagi? Cheers. If you guys don't know very much about Swift's history, it's the first time they tried to digitalize international money transfers. It took banks years to even jump on the Swift mechanism, the Swift system. They were pulling in banks, for a decade. People were resistant to it. So it took a while just for Swift to get going and launch and be successful. And then looking at Swift inefficiencies versus Ripple, I mean, really, just the idea is pretty simple. Here it is. Here it is. You have Ripple versus global transfer markets, and this is about all the information you need. You got trillions of dollars in Nostro Vostro accounts. You got trillions of dollars per day in Swift. And then we're looking at the global transfer market total is 2.7 quadrillion. 2.7 quadrillion. So I made a video yesterday, what if crypto fails? And the main thing I wanted to highlight was the idea that it can't fail, really. The worst that could happen is that it could be competed against. That private blockchain companies could compete against the Ripple's solutions with their interledger. And in reality, all that would happen is for them to bring more people into crypto. All that would happen is for it to create a stronger, more robust, sustainable ecosystem for cryptocurrencies and bringing more authority in. If you had all the corporations in the world looking at using privatized blockchains, what are all the people in the world going to want to do? Probably use public blockchains. So, XRP and Ripple is a great combo of both. Ripple's XRP, the XRP ledger, and the interledger protocol, it creates not only the platform for financial institutions and corporations to work around this issue and the payment rail, but it creates you and me. You and I get to use that same payment rail. You and I get to use the same ledger system, and that provides basically, instead of this us versus them, which I made the video, the one world currency, and someone commented on there, they're like, what if NWO takes over world, implements microchips in all of us, we are doomed. No. And they're like hitting the enter button over and over again. And I said, you know what? I can relate to this idea, but no. This is the thing. It's no longer us versus them. The facilitation of these consensus mechanisms brings a revolution in governance is what it is. It's a revolution in governance. It's a paradigm shift. This is something that I'm going to do a whole video about. I have it on my notepad. Consensus history. History of governance, history of consensus. You guys can't read that. It's backwards. But that's on the plan. It's on the docket. We're working on the What is XRP video today because I said I would do it because I'm trying to finish it. It looks really good. We used some of the cool slides. Thanks, Stefan. Your Codius lecture. Thanks, Robert Lee, sending me Stefan's Codius lecture that came out from Crypto Valley. That was very awesome. Very, very informative. If you guys haven't already, watch this bad boy. You should. It's amazing. I'm gonna make it easier to digest for you guys. If you guys have issues, digesting that, I'm gonna put something together that's a little bit quicker, and it's gonna put the slides up, etc., etc. But this was really great. Thanks, Robert, for sending it to me. I was watching that. It brought some of the things to the light that really helped me finish the What is XRP video and putting it all together where we're headed. Again, looking at Ripple's Labs XRP providing a removal of the us versus them ideology, right? It's a change of ethos because the corporations using the interledger protocol and XRP brings support and authority to it, but it also gives the people the potential to participate. The people to participate in building out or using the XRP ledger and the interledger protocol. Ripple has accomplished too much already for it to be undone. I agree, XRP Warrior, you are right. That was something that I probably didn't even put enough in there, but looking at the partnerships they've made, looking at the developments they've made, looking at them showing up and doing face-to-face interviews and discussions and just being there, holding space in the cryptosphere day in and day out, that potentially is really strong. They continually make really strong partnerships moving forward, and what that basically means is that they're the most likely to succeed in my mind. They're also hedging against the positions and changes of the paradigm shift. So they've done a lot to implement themselves into this space. They've done a lot to provide utility to people other than them. That's what the interledger protocol is about. They decided to make it easier for interoperability to function, and then smartly enough, genius plan on their part, because if you have this interoperable payment ledger, you're going to continually consolidate probably your efforts into the cheapest, fastest system. And what is the cheapest? What is the fastest? Tell me, do you know? Tell me, do you know? So, exciting things for XRP. A lot of people, just now, every day I say this. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to say it again. Every day, someone's just now starting the conversation. What is XRP? Or what is Bitcoin? Or what is crypto? What is its use? Why? And I want to do more videos about that, about the paradigm shift of governance, the consensus protocols, and also looking at, you know, the general problem, the Byzantine general problem. All these things I want to break down more, but time is of the essence, my friends. Time is of the essence. We're going to have to go just run through these bad boys real quick. The news of the day, and then I'll be off. We've got a lot of stuff to do. So here we are. Ripple or Swift? Which of the two should be adopted? Well, we already know. So we're done with this article. Done. If you guys want to read it, I'll drop the sources after the video posts. The sources will be up. But looking at, I was also thinking about something. Pause momentarily. I know I said we're going to go through the news really quick, but I was thinking about this morning. I looked at one of my old tweets. It was basically something about if you're not gaining a return on investment of 2% or more a year, you're basically losing money, right? Because the price of inflation is 2% a year. And it made me realize, I was thinking, you know, I always say we've lost 80% of our value in the dollar in our lifetime. I say that a lot. I say, like, guys, we've lost 80% of the value of our dollar in our lifetime. And then people are like, yeah, but you know what? We never put together the fact that, like, even if XRP stabilized at 50 cents, in a lifetime, it would still be worth 80% more than that dollar that we're holding right now. That's the nature of this hyperinflation. And the problem is, the real problem is, you know, how do we consider that a metric? How do we measure these metrics? And in reality, that's one we're not considering. The fact that our fiats are dying is almost like a guarantee that any fixed, limited supply digital currency is going to be better off in the future than any fiat you're holding right now. Any fiat. And it's hard for me to, like, boldly state, you know, like, I'm not a chief economist. But then I realize, why are chief economists always saying ridiculous things like cryptocurrency is not going to make it? And it's because it's just for the same reason we developed crypto in the first place. We developed blockchain technology because we had a trust problem, right? Consensus, governance, trust issue. Well, thank you, Sivan. Thank you, Sivan. I appreciate it. Josh, what was your question? Look at this. This is the importance, right? The revolution of blockchain technology is the governance, consensus, trust. What is a university teaching that doesn't provide a foundational level of understanding for the development of crypto? You know what they're teaching? Bullshit. That's what they're teaching. I'm not going to just call out universities across the world and say that they're not teaching anything, but most of the time, I'm afraid that the education system, just like the law system, is reactive. It's reactive in the fact that it's old news. So they're indoctrination systems, not education systems. And the problem here is that economists have been building their understanding of the economy on a false foundation. That's something that I address a lot. I talk about this idea a lot, a false foundation. It's hard for us to build and scale on top of a corrupt foundation. It never works. It never works, right? And so what does that mean? It basically means that even if a chief economist from Harvard came out and said crypto is a lie, I would start to question, what is his education level for the foundation understanding of a fixed supply currency versus like a fractional reserve banking system that we're using. And when it comes down to it, it's because they were educated to say no. They were taught to say no. And to me, they were taught to devalue the possibility of a coded currency because they don't understand it, but also because they themselves have a false foundation of the view of the economy and the value and the role of money in society. Now, what does that mean? It means that I can't trust them. It means we have another trust problem. We have a trust issue. We have a consensus of trust issue, right? So why would I trust an economist that doesn't understand the foundational flaw of fractional reserve banking in an economy? Boom. That's super simple. You know, like, why would I listen to those fools? I'm going to do a whole video about that because that got me going earlier. I was just thinking about it. Like, what? What is going on here? So let's go back to our news run through. Lawsuits against Ripple are actually good for Ripple. You guys can't see that, but just believe me, that's what it says. Let's move it. Okay, we'll move it. Lawsuits, you still can't see it, guys. You still can't see it. Lawsuits against Ripple are actually good for Ripple. Here's why. We've discussed this in the past, bringing the idea to the courts, getting them to make a decision, getting them to make a call on it, and still it doesn't do us any clarification today. It doesn't clarify anything right now. Journalists on Ethereum, will fake news meet its match? Is XRP a donut? We'll have to do a whole video about that. XRP grind. That's a real deep question. It's a real deep question. We'll have to do a whole video just about that. Yo, thanks Choey. Joel, what's going on? How's it going? How are you guys feeling today? Double-edged sword, exactly. It's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. So this is really pretty much just about the civil platform. It's based on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a distributed ledger that allows newsrooms to post content no single party can alter or take down. So thinking about the future of information, how long can we get away with fake information, false information, and fake news in the era of blockchain and transparency? It's a dying thing. It's dying. Timing the crypto markets with RSI. So looking at the RSI indicators and understanding the candlestick charting, the relative strength index breakdown in CoinDesk. Oh, that was fun. You guys can check it out and read it yourself if you like. If any insider, financial institution, hedge fund regulator knows that it can make 10 on current prices, imagine how they'll play their cards. Bring down prices first. Totally, Ralph. I agree. 100%. Tezos investors got a chance to sell this week, and they took it. So Tezos got listed and launched, and everyone really likes it. Apparently, all in all, prices fell 34% on Monday, according to CoinMarketCap, from a high of $4. The sell-off coincided with the first listing of Tezos tokens on an exchange, meaning investors were quick to take advantage of access to liquidity. Happy to sell out as quickly as possible, but if you look at CoinMarketCap, I'm not sure about today, but as of yesterday, if you looked at change inside 24 hours, Tezos was one of the top coins. I don't know if it is today. Looks like Bitcoin Diamond is just 60% return today. And I always go to trending and look at gainers and losers. Sometimes you can find interesting things here. Tezos did not show up in these gainers, but I always look at the losers actually. Like if I see a coin that I really like in these dips, this is a better indicator for me. It's a good time than if it's in a run. So this got added to Binance yesterday. Dent was added to Binance. It's like a penny. Oh no, it's half a penny. This was interesting too because I saw that they added it to Binance and they listed it at a penny, but it was actually like 7 cents at the time. And I looked at all the exchanges, basically still listing it for a penny, and it was half a cent. So I thought that was interesting. Binance listing that. Joshua just re-asked. Dent 150% yesterday. I saw that non-fun. I saw that 150%. I saw that too. It only did 30 of that on Binance though. Do the banks make more off the current SWIFT system pimping the X border transfer money during the settlement period than if they were using X rapid saving, say 70%? So the question, Josh, I think is what you're asking is, do they make more money with SWIFT because of their current system? And I think that's a great question to look at. I know the ins and outs of the banking system are multifaceted, so it's very complex to look at how much potentially can SWIFT make. Do the banks make more with SWIFT? Does the SWIFT platform enable them to keep profiting off some of their malicious tactics? And even let's just say, pure speculation, even if they do continue using SWIFT because it does allow them more profit with more malicious activity, more banker manipulation, that would be short-lived. Yeah, that would be very short-lived, I think, and I don't think I don't really know if that's true or not. I don't know if they make more money by using and abusing the current system with SWIFT. I think that the savings and the catalyst of financial institutions jumping on board and using this, it's going to be a no-brainer. I think it's kind of like, I don't know what good analogy to use, but I don't think that they're going to bet on the failing system. I don't think financial institutions are going to be like, you know what, we're going to bet on the system that no one's using anymore that keeps getting hacked. In fact, that was another video that we wanted to look at, was this huge hack. It was like an $80 billion hack in SWIFT, and it was a really cool breakthrough. breakup of it, a breakdown of that. And I liked the article because it showed how easily people could gain access to Swift and manipulate it, and how long they sat in this system waiting. Like, the hacker gained access and was in there for months, just plotting and moving things around or taking notes. And so I think there's a degree of a security issue in Swift. There's a degree of a issue banks trusting Swift, because even if they could maybe measly manipulate a few more dollars, them risking losing billions is a bigger risk. So yeah, thinking about the risk versus reward, will they nickel and dime their consumers and customers with the Swift system, or will they just jump on the payment rail? I think, again, looking at the Ripple protocol video, the XRP integration and utility with the interledger protocol, it's a payment rail that I think everyone's going to use. I don't think that Swift will exist at all. So yeah, looking at the title of the video and like looking at this chart even, you know, where we can see easily that even Swift with its $5 trillion per day is not even close to competing with the removal of Nostro Vostro accounts. So looking at the suggestion that even inside this vast economy of global transfers and cross-border payments, that there's a space for everyone, I think Swift could potentially maybe hold on for another minute. It could possibly convince banks to hold on to their old tactics. Banks that are less likely to adopt and integrate these new systems probably could be swayed to participate. But I think the future is international ledger protocol and the payment rail of XRP. So I think, again, it's short-lived. That would be short-lived. Japan, SBI, Japan, FX. No volume. Western Union's playing games. You have a question. What about the price? If XRP hit $10, maybe began a short decreased time, how professional is a company like Ripple as a viewpoint of banks? What? I don't understand your question. How professional is a company like Ripple as a viewpoint of banks? Are you asking about if they make exchanges banks like they did in South Korea? Is that what you're asking? So the Tezos chance to sell, they took it. Also, Facebook, new director of engineering. Low volatility risk. Western Union's Blockbuster. That's funny. Swift is changing their interface, maybe using Ripple. With that Nostro Vostro account, how would getting rid of that increase the price of XRP? That's a great question, Eve. That's a great question, in fact. Why? And people, I think, often just kind of like they just like look over that without really understanding it. How would removing Nostro Vostro accounts benefit banks? That's a good question, Eve. And one we'll probably have to break down more in a full video, but for a quick idea of how that works, like say you're a bank and you have an open ledger or an open notebook about how many funds you have a day, you're trying to complete some transfers or exchanges that were requested to pay back or to pay certain banks that you owe. You closing your books at the end of the day means you have to basically set the books to zero. And if the Nostro Vostro accounts are still open or being used, then you don't have these stores of money potentially. You don't have access to closing your books and using these funds. So potentially removing the Nostro Vostro accounts creates ability for them to make more money inside of exchanges per day. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. I was trying to look at that specifically and understand it more, but I think it potentially allows them to make more money because the remittance transfers happen like that, and they then have their books closed and back and ready to support another transfer. So thank you for asking that. It's interesting to look at. And we'll do that. We'll do another breakdown more of that because it's a very, very in-depth question. But yeah, why would they make money? Why would they make money? Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin blasts centralized crypto exchanges. I hope they burn and bleep. Co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, criticizing. That's why I call him Buterin. Criticized centralized exchanges, saying he hopes they will all burn in hell. In an interview with TechCrunch. Buterin has reiterated his positive stance on decentralization, claiming that by developing better decentralized platforms, the crypto community should be able to take away the stupid king-making power from centralized crypto exchanges. I definitely, personally hope central exchanges burn in hell. The creator of Ethereum criticized centralized platforms for having the ability to decide which cryptocurrencies become big. According to Buterin, they do this by charging these crazy $10 to $15 million listing fees, then added that further decentralization would better satisfy the blockchain venues of openness and transparency. Whoa! So Vitalik Buterin really coming at the foundational layer, the ethos of decentralization and what that means. And I can support his approach, but I also think that in reality there's a paradox. It's a duality. Duality. 2.9 billion in a month to hundreds dead. Trends of the roller coaster ICO market in 18 months. Dying. That's right. Aren't you glad you guys didn't jump into some of those rando ICOs? Hey, what's up, Mantis? How are you? How's it going? XRP solves liquidity issues. Exactly. Exactly. Western Union is too involved in shady practices to adopt Ripple. That's funny. Javi, you're funny. Or Jeremy, you're funny. Jeremy, that's a good point. That's funny. Running crypto. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Doing a great job. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Ever been caught short? About to find out what XRP team has been up to in the last 6 months. Ripple team smart. So is the Federal Reserve. The U.S. will not let this project fail, and they'll be joined at the hip. I think so, Ralph. I think so. What's up, what's up? What's up, Running Crypto? So, FedEx Institute partners with pharmacy to use blockchain for cancer medicine distribution. You never know how many people are going to ignore every single news mention of crypto and Bitcoin and blockchain up until something they do respect or do pay attention to starts using it. So if they're aware of the pharmaceutical industry or FedEx or anything like that, this news could be great. FedEx Institute of Technology announced a partnership with pharmacy services company Good Shepherd to develop a blockchain-based infrastructure to help cancer patients get medications. And so what would they likely need? Probably to have it be accessible and interoperable with all the other currencies, looking at the Interledger protocol and looking at the FedEx Institute of Technology to develop this brings, I think, again, another level of authority and support to blockchain and the use of it in traditional industries, FedEx and pharmacy. Very exciting moment indeed. Crypto market remains stable at 270 billion, downtrend more likely than rally. That was one of the bigger things that we talked about yesterday. Forbes calls out the market being stable, makes me think it's gonna dip more. Looking at the past 24 hours, the trade volume of Bitcoin decreased, and meanwhile, the daily volume of Tether has increased. Since July 2nd, the price of Bitcoin remained relatively stable in the mid 6,000 region. In short term, the more likely for Bitcoins to fall to the lower end of 6, then rise above 7. So they're still possibly saying 6 bottom, but I'm not sure. I'm waiting for that new bottom. That new bottom. CypherSpook, a hedge fund trader and Bitcoin researcher, suggested that BTC could achieve 50K upon a major break above its descending trend line since December, a spike in volume. This is what 50K looks like by the end of 2018. So there's December and January of 2018, and here's December 2018 and January of 2019 is what they're suggesting. Oh, you guys can't see that. That's what it looked like. That's what it looks like right there. So, regarding the Nostro Vostro accounts, could Shane Ellis' comment on your video be useful? Yes, we looked at that comment yesterday. Shane's idea about the amount of money needed for the liquidity to function, putting XRP at pretty high price. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that. I really like that. I really like Shane, and I like his comment, but I haven't been able to specifically look through and see how that would work. So, I do think that yes, that is exactly what he's suggesting. Fayer Bent. Obsessed and unable to work. Cryptocurrency addiction facility releases questionnaire. So if you guys are having some issues, if you guys are addicted to crypto, I might have to put this questionnaire out there. You guys can look through it, see if you need help. Professional help, okay? Obsessed and unable to work. Cryptocurrency addiction facility releases questionnaire. That's right, I put that in the news. Hey, thanks, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch, for the support. 1/5 of Bitcoin is permanently lost. You guys know this, right? that the full supply of Bitcoin is not actually the full supply of Bitcoin. We're not going to actually have 21 million. At the end of the day, we're only going to have like 17 or something. 17 million total. Take a big breath. I know it's rough. XRP detox. This is also something that people are talking about. Lightning Network, 1% success rate. And I know this is kind of old news, but I want to look at that in relation to the idea that people still don't really understand the reason we need XRP, the reason we need blockchain, the reason we need Bitcoin. And potentially, I can't explain to you until you try how hard it is to send large amounts of money across borders, right? I mean, you can't send a certain amount in PayPal, in cash, or whatever, right? So you literally have, there's not a lot of options for sending a specific amount like that. But Lightning Network, it can't even send above like $200. Here's the success rate. Like if you're sending pennies, 100% success rate. As long as you're sending under 3 cents, Lightning Network has a 100% success rate. But as soon as you're trying to implement like a larger payment of above $400, it's like a 1% success rate. And the reason why is because they're trying to implement technology that deals with sharding and it deals with scalability using off-chain transactions, which is something that Ripple developed a long time ago in their Ripple Consensus Protocol. And they figured out how to make the sharding and scalability through the rippling process. And they actually have a way higher success rate. Way higher. I think it's 100%. I think it's like 100% success rate. So sending $100,000 across the world. I think we saw someone send like $17 million the other day. Someone posted like $1 million sent in XRP, cost nothing almost. Cost nothing, success 100%. So looking at this, like these people, this is why I laugh when people are like, well, what if Google or Facebook decides to make their own blockchain? And I say, yeah, when will I see it? 2050? Like David Schwartz has been researching this and developing it for 30 years, guys. Research. So imagine trying to send millions of dollars. Imagine trying to use this Lightning Network for anything useful. It doesn't make sense. Ripple's way ahead of them, way ahead of the game. It's all about information. It's about the control of information and the fact that most Google and Facebook haven't even started. Like they're way behind. They probably don't even have 1% success rate. They probably sending over $500 is less than 1% success rate because they haven't even been putting the time in to develop their team. Again, looking back at the Facebook has new director of engineering for blockchain. Like this is something that they're looking at. This is something that they're definitely talking about and they're interested in. And there's no way they're not going to do it, right? There's no way they're not going to do it. So looking at the Lightning Network, looking at big companies trying to launch their own blockchain tech, it's going to be hard. And of course, they're going to try to patent it and do it and make it work. But in reality, how successful will it be? How will it work? So, yeah, Facebook and Google want to make their own blockchain. Lightning Network wants to have a really sweet off-chain scalable solution for the Bitcoin protocol, but it doesn't look like it's working. So, Codius open keynote at Crypto Valley Conference. We looked at that video at the beginning of our live stream today, and so we were just going to drop that in there. If you guys wanted to watch this video, I put the link at the very beginning in the chat, and we're going to do a video about that later. Looking at the Codius moving forward and what that means and how interoperable it is. Like why would it benefit someone to use Codius? And he goes over basically how it being interoperable and very neutral, it facilitates support over and over again for people to pick the cheapest and most efficient digital asset, and that again consolidates people into XRP because that is what it is, cheap and fast. So hey, King Blue, what's up? King Blue in the house. Keep up the good work, buddy. Thank you. King Blue, no thank you. Keep up your good work. Definitely a team effort. If you guys didn't know, King Blue's been doing a lot of hard work on the tutorial and guide for the Codius launch. So if you use the guide in the description, it basically was all King Blue, dropping the knowledge in there. I think he has a lot of links to all the different issues you guys are having. So if you're thinking about launching a Codius host, that entire Google Doc is King Blue's efforts. So definitely thank him and follow him on Twitter and give him some support as well. Thank you, King Blue. I appreciate it. Jeremy, thank you so much. Making it rain. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I need a video on how to turn 1,000 XRP into 2,000 XRP. You need a video on how to do that? Okay. Well, I'll just make that video. I'll just make that video for you. Real quickie. Real quickie. Yeah, exactly. So looking at this information, looking at what's happening with the development of all these partnerships and the positioning of all these big global companies, you can see over and over again suggestions point to XRP being a really strong move looking forward. And even if you don't think XRP is going to do that great and you hedge your investments into other coins, it looks like the Interledger is going to provide this huge open neutral layer for everyone to happily pay with whatever coin they want. And what that means is that even if people don't start off using XRP and appreciating it, over time, whatever's easiest to use and whatever's cheapest to send will probably be doubled down on. And then looking at this Ripple global transfer market sheet again that we started with at the end, there's a lot of money floating around, being sent around the world. And Brad is always just saying he wants to send money as easily as you can send information. And I think that's pretty much what's happening. Andrew K. Nano. Andrew K says Nano greater than Lightning Coin. Nano is something that I want to look at and do a whole video about, actually. So thanks for reminding me, Andrew. We do want to look at Nano and what that means. Nano used to be Rayblox until they renamed themselves to Nano. And they have a lot of support. They're a pretty strong blockchain. And then again, looking at not necessarily having to go all in on one. I did the video yesterday, what if crypto fails? And we talked about Bitcoin maximalists. And the idea of having a single coin is not actually that great for the crypto ecosystem. We want a diverse, robust ecosystem. So I think room for everyone. If you're a Nano fan, that's cool. It can still work interoperably with all the other coins. So that's exciting stuff right there. Exciting stuff. Miyagi's dropping the link to join the King Blue started a charity for St. Jude as well. It's on the Tipbot. So the Tipbot link right here that Miyagi dropped takes you to the St. Jude donation. And yeah, Susie made a huge donation. I just saw that King Blue before I came live. That's awesome. That's very cool. She's a very cool lady. And is Codius worth setting up? As of right now, Codius is not profitable. King Blue and I are just chatting about that the other day. He's doing some other tests to see how he could possibly change the structure of the host and if it's more profitable that way. But as of right now, I'm making about, I think, 1 XRP a month, maybe 2 XRP a month, and it's costing me about 250 XRP to run. So it's not profitable yet. It's costing me money. It depends on what you consider worth. Thank you, King Blue. You're right. It depends on what you consider worth. It's not necessarily profitable right now, but since we can see the future of Codius being very strong, the fact that we hit a new benchmark. I think today we hit 100 contracts. Did you hear that, King Blue? 100 contracts today. So we're doing 100 contracts today, and basically, let's go look at our hosts right now. We're doing 100 contracts for the first time. So we're basically we're putting out this infrastructure. We dropped down to 81, so we're at 81 contracts right now. But we're putting out this infrastructure preemptively. Like, we're preemptively building out this infrastructure because we believe in it. So it might not be, and Codius, I mean, King Blue said, again, depends on what you consider worth it to launch a Codius. We're happily taking this first step, building out this layer before it's utilized. Looking at all of our hosts right here, you can see, try to find one of King Blue's. There it is. Here's King Blue's host working away. He's got a 6% load. He's doing a contract right now. It's pretty exciting. Let's see if you can find mine. There's another one of King Blue's running. If I sort it by memory, you can find mine. And there's mine right there running. No contracts, 36% load. So you can see that we have them up and they're running. We're happy to support the network and build them out. And again, I'm doing a 28-day test run, so I'm going to do it for 28 days and tell you about how much it costs and how much XRP I earned. Joel, thank you so much. XRP to the moon! XRP to the moon. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. And if you guys are having issues with this NA, it's in the doc that King Blue put together. There's like a new file to add for the environmental parameter. You just put that in there. It should be fine. Over 127 last night. Woo! All right. 127 contracts being processed, but we need more validators. King Blue's saying we need more validators. So I was watching that talk that Stefan put on. This talking about the validators and how they work and the integration of Codius. So it's pretty exciting. And that video link we put up in the top of the chat. And if you guys have any questions at Codius, definitely tweet at me or tweet at King Blue. And before you ask any questions, check his Google Doc. He put a lot of work into that, so it looks pretty good. The initial investment on Codius, you'd probably you'd buy a domain and you pay for your VM. And I think that you get a credit for your VM maybe, so you just buy your domain. King Blue's also saying really quickly that validators are way easier to set up. So if you guys are having issues setting up your Codius host, the validator is way easier to set up. So looking at the news for today, breaking down the video yesterday, crypto fail, what if crypto fails, happily saying no to that, and looking at big things like FedEx jumping into blockchain. Let's do a review of the news. FedEx jumping into blockchain, Vitalik Buterin calling crypto exchanges that are centralized not his favorite. Facebook adds new engineering for blockchain. Tezos investors sold out. There was lawsuits against Ripple might be a good thing. XRP versus Swift. We already know the answer of that, the outcome of that. Crypto market remains stable. Downtrend more likely than rally. Obsessed and unable to work. And also the 1/5 of Bitcoin's permanently lost. Lightning Network only able to deliver a 1% success rate on money over $400. Over $400 sent, 1% success rate. It's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. And then again, the Codius launch info. If you guys have any questions with that, let us know. And looking before we go, the last little thing. Looking at the coins for today. Where are we at? Oh no, we almost made it. We almost made it all the way through. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did we make it? Did we make it through that hiccup? Are you guys still with me? Are we still alive? Okay. No, yeah, there was a hiccup there. There was a moment. There was a moment. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're still running. Okay, here we are. Sorry. I know the feed's really rough today. I know that the screen's really blurry. I'm trying to figure out how to improve that for you guys. Last minute before we go, just look at the prices of the coins. They're calling for possibly another dip. We can see we're at 267 billion. Bitcoin's at 6.6. Ethereum's at 4.71. XRP's 47 cents. Bitcoin Cash 7.30. EOS under 9. Litecoin $81. Stellar 20 cents. Cardano 14 cents. And Neo fell out of the top 10, being replaced by Tether. So I'm going to end this bad boy before it just completely falls off. Before it completely dies, we're going to end this live stream. Just jumping in to give you guys an update. We're happily just waiting still to see what happens with these developments, with the partnerships, with the technology, and what that means when they launch the Interledger protocol, the payment rail for everyone. So here we go. Big exciting things. Still a little bit of a still point here. Waiting for news and waiting for exciting moments to really shift and position the market. But we all know the real issue is education and understanding the technology. So get out there and start a conversation with someone today. What is XRP should be dropping later today, so you can send that to your grandparents. It should be simple enough to send to your grandparents. And looking at finishing that, sending it out there. If you haven't already, check out the What If Crypto Fails. There's some cool analogies in there, talking about the Hydra, talking about trying to de-head a Hydra. And as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the live stream. Let me know what you guys are up to. Suggest some videos in the comments if you guys have some ideas. We're doing some consensus and governance videos as well. So, cheers. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great day. Drink lots of water. Get outside. Move around. And enjoy yourself. Cheers. Have a great day until I see you next time. Farewell. Farewell.